somebody could have gotten hurt.
And that's your name on that.
And what does that do for me trying to clean up this, brand so that hopefully one day the city of Atlanta can actually accept it and celebrate it the way the ATLians celebrate it. Like, yo, we understand the debauchery happened and we not with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for what it was, Jermaine Dupri even said it. Like, people came to Atlanta for Freaknik. They just didn't leave. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he said that. He said, and then it was even, the next sentence was, Freaknik and the impact it had on the hip hop, the music community in Atlanta, the entertainment, it's what helped make Atlanta become the Black Mecca.
Yeah.
So it's like, this should be celebrated.
All right, so we got Carlos.
So it's go time.
Neil in the wine cellar is what we call it.
Okay.
Okay, so we are presenting the Marisou. Okay, this is a Pinot Noir.
Gosh, I'm so glad you asked me to say that first.
Are you a wino? Do you drink wine?
I enjoy wine.
Yeah, well, let you taste this one. I like this one because it's light, and it's for anyone who doesn't drink red wine. I think you would like this particular one, so.
It is soft.
It's very soft.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like that.
But you know what? It sneaks up on you.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna be careful because I know you got to go home, you got a wife and baby and everything. So let me go ahead and be a good host and pour you up.
Well, you know, I usually tell people, I'm like, put your own poison. I ain't gonna put no restraints on you, and I'm gonna turn my back. Whatever you feel like.
I see you with the Freaknik merch on. You live, eat, and breathe everything Freaknik, huh?
Yeah.
Or is it just?
But
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
cheers.
Look.
Welcome.
Thank you. I got a whole box of them. I'll bring some back for you.
You got the internet in a hailstorm right now, sir.
Okay.
You got people, aunties. I don't even think the aunties look the same from when it wasn't the Freaknik footage back in the 90s and from now, but they are worried. These ladies are nurses. They may be some doctors, some college educated. They may be married and told their husband they was the only one.
I mean, what they say, it's one of those things, ignorance is bliss.
Carlos, is there a hit out on your life right now?
I hope not, because I wasn't the one recording it back in the 90s, right?
You ain't got no threats or nothing.
Nope.
Okay, let's talk about where you stand in all of this. Sure. Okay, what's your background?
Background is in IT.
Okay.
But also entertainment.
Okay.
So I've owned gentlemen's clubs. I had a restaurant here in Atlanta. You might have heard of it, Scales 925 with T.I.
Yes.
I was a partner over there.
Okay. I've been there a few times. Yeah. What happened with that restaurant?
I was going to say sorry. Yeah. Depending on your experience, right? It was too many chiefs, not enough leaders, right?
Okay.
But Tip did his part. Mm-hmm. He brought the people out. It's just that we couldn't get the right team that, when you have a celebrity-driven restaurant, not sure if everybody, you need people in the hospitality industry that's passionate about the people. It's
hard. I was in the restaurant industry. My husband and I, on and off, building our broadcasting career for 20 years.
Nice.
We have done every position there was.
There you go.
It is, you have to literally live, eat, and breathe the restaurant industry.
Passionate about that. We had waiters and people that was, trying to get closer to, maybe I can, rap this or, maybe.
Yeah, so they will only come there just so they can.
So, like me being I live multiple lives, like most of us, right?
Okay.
Serial entrepreneur. So had my corporate life. I used to actually keep it separate. I used to keep corporate separate, entertainment separate, obviously family and all the other stuff. So in living those separate lives, it was like, I would come, I was a promoter. So I've promoted every club in the city. I've been promoted since 2005.
Oh, wow.
Like professionally. Undergrad, I brought the first Black History Month step show to Southern Poly State University in Marietta, which is now Kennesaw State. Yeah. Chartered Alpha Phi Alpha there. So I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. But given that, I've always partied with a purpose also. So, being able to keep your professional life, making A's. I used to have a Facebook group. When Facebook first came out, it was called Nerds in Disguise.
Oh,
Because it was
like,
you might see us out kicking it, popping bottles, chilling, whatever the case, but we got all our work done. But when you get to the restaurant industry and, on a Saturday, I was the lead promoter there and I would be there and I would just see people crying like, man, like this is my 40th anniversary, we drove from out of town for this. You know, we did this, and waiters just be on their phone, like, whatever.
Yeah.
The managers would be kicking it with the waiters.
I was just talking to Darius Cooks, 3 restaurants. He shut them all down because of, you know, and he said everything that could go wrong went wrong.
I mean, food costs the margins are so razor thin.
Yeah.
You're talking about, at best, you're probably at 13% profit margin if you are like on top of your thing. I'm not talking pizza or wings, but if you're talking just traditional food, 13% profit margin.
That's nothing.
So if you're overpaying, the volume is the name of the game. So if you're overpaying, if you got your homeboys as, you know, managers, you know, you're going in there eating up all the food.
People complaining.
You're not watching your chef. So, you know, we had a chef. I almost want to put his name out there, but I don't
he pissed you out. He pissed you out that bad.
No, it's not even a bad thing.
Was he taking steaks home?
It was him, and then he ended up getting with the GM at the time. And apparently, if anybody knows, they know who I'm talking about now. We finally did an inventory, and in the back there's lava cakes. We're like, we don't even sell lava cakes. Bro was like ordering all this food and doing catering on our dime, but because, you know,
I think I saw a story recently about that. It was a cafeteria for a school cafeteria.
Yeah,
she was ordering chicken and selling the chicken boxes on the side.
Like, so it's crazy. Like we used to literally see boxes of food. Like I would have to like, you know, be in the back because everybody just thinking it's a restaurant. How hard is this? Because if you had a club, so I was a part owner of Allure Gentlemen's Club and V Live.
I didn't know that. V Live.
Yep.
Oh shit! You really in these streets?
Yeah, but you know, I'm behind the scene, and I wanted to be that way, right? Which is kind of interesting how the whole family friendly thing came out. But we'll get to that in a second. Like I like to be behind the scenes. But yeah, I mean, you know, liquor, 300% profit margin. You charge at the door. You don't really have to worry about food. Yeah. You know, a lot of times you're like, all right, we're going to do 1,000 people. We're going to sell 10, 15 VIP sections at the average price of, you know, $750, $1,000. You know, we're going to charge parking. You're going to charge for hookahs. That's easy. You know, you're only open for this finite period. But at restaurants, it's a whole different ball game. And fortunately, you know, the alcohol sales for the late night for the first couple of months, because we didn't even make it a year, kind of mask some of the errors early on. But ultimately, you got to know what you're doing. So
damn.
It's tough business, as you know.
No, I know. And it was kind of like one of those things, you know, building, you know, my career in broadcasting and in film, because my husband's in film. It was like, well, damn, is this our life? Thank you. It's a big help.
This is the last one, ain't it?
Like it.
It's the last one too, huh?
Yeah, I want to be able to drive home now.
I was a club owner, right? I mean,
well, wine is different. The first time I met my husband, he was like, wine ain't shit. I said, I could drink a whole bottle, I'll be fine. Yeah. He was throwing up.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's like a different kind of, you know.
It's a different
it's a
type of
you're kind of
drunk.
like, man.
2 glasses max.
That's
anything
how you
after
your husband, huh?
After that, he don't really. He fuck with wine, but he'll never try. He was like, "Man, you was right. I had to clean. I was like 6 months pregnant, and I had to clean up. The whole bathroom was just grapes everywhere, and I had to do it because he didn't remember doing it. He was speaking in Arabic. He speaks like 5 languages. He was speaking in Arabic, telling me some shit, and I'm like, I'm a kiwi, you know. Swear to God, I'm a kiwi. So be careful. But no. That's interesting.
You said this brother need me. I found someone that needs me.
Nah, I was trying. I had a baby. Shit.
Oh, well, okay, true.
I was trying. I couldn't go nowhere. Like, what the fuck?
Say true.
But listen, like, so, you know, because I wanted to get some background on you because I was trying to figure out, like, where do you fit in this Freaknik thing? But you trademarked the name. Yes. How did that come about? But you were like 8 years old when Freaknik.
8th grade. The last one. So I actually attended the Freaknik, like in the 95, 96.
And no one had an ownership over it.
Back then, so it's a whole story. We'll get to that part, right? So like, you know, I've always done parties. Like I had a house in the AUC. We used to do big block parties. You know, we would do like everybody else, a Freaknik themed block party where we, you know, whatever nightclubs, I would do a party here and there with Freaknik, you know, but, you know, amongst other things, right? Like we might have, you know, St. Patrick's Day. We might have, you know, so I was just like everyone else at the time, just a regular promoter doing parties, not really, you know, knowing if there was any type of real like ownership for the Freaknik. it wasn't until I tried to get outside the nightclub. So I talked about Scales Not Too Far. So my company name is After 9 Partners. So believe it or not, that name came because it was after Scales 925. So I have After 9.
Oh, okay.
That's how the name came up.
Okay.
It's even one of the posts Tilt wrote up on there. Scales 925 is my name. And I was like, bro, I just changed it to After 9. He's like, oh, we're good now. Got you,
he loved to sue somebody too. Listen.
I mean, but and with that, changing the name of it, I've always done promotions, as I mentioned. But I was one of those people, like, I don't really do the drugs I sell. So, like,
okay. You don't get high off your own supply.
Nah. Well, well, let me backtrack on that a little bit. So before After 9 Partners, it was iParty ATL. That was the name of the company I had. And yeah, every club in the city that's a notable club I've done. It wasn't until like maybe 2000 after Scales and then V Live. And I was just like, bro, like I thought going from a promoter to a club owner was like this. I made it. Like, guys, like we are now the ones pulling the strings. We're not the puppets anymore. Okay. We're the puppet masters. We're the puppeteers, right? It was just Mo, and I hate to say it, but Mo nigga shit.
It was politics. It was probably heavy politics. It's kind of like owning a gentleman's club.
It wasn't even politics. It was nigga shit. Once that happened, I took a year off. Ended up similar to you. Got my girlfriend at the time pregnant. Okay. Ended up proposing to her, and just really kind of stepping it back and reassessing, like, is this what I want to do? So what I realized is I wanted to do special events and concerts. So my first event back, I did an event I call Toast the Throne. So you might start seeing a pattern. iParty ATL, Toast the Throne. I look at what's hot and then I say, all right, how can I pivot it a little bit and then give it like new meaning, new life? So Toast the Throne is a play on Game of Thrones. Had Angela Simmons that year, had the biggest New Year's Eve party, 3,000 people. Wow. At the Fairmonts. They're closed now. After that, I ended up doing a Queens of Hip Hop concert at State Farm Arena. So that was my first concert. The promoter only sold like 1,000 tickets. And, me being young and stupid, it was like, well, hey, we don't have the money for the back end. We got 3 weeks for the show. Do you want to come in, put up money on the back end and see if we can turn the show around? I was like, yeah, I can do that. Okay. I turned a show that was 1,000 tickets into 8,000 tickets in 3 weeks. State Farm said they've never seen nothing like that before. So great, right? Opened up Allure's Gentlemen's Club. Even opened up One Cigar Lounge in Spring Street. That was, Allure was like in July. One Cigar Lounge.
Yeah, I remember Allure. Allure was popping. Every time I drove past it, the line was wrapped outside.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We did One Cigar Lounge. That was like in October. And then I did R&B Forever concert at State Farm Arena in December. Okay. Brought out 14,000 people for that concert. That's how I ended up meeting Bull, and who's the partner of Teddy Riley and Keith Sweat. That's important. I'll tell you why. Okay. Lost $70,000 on that concert.
How the hell did you do that?
Because the blind leading the blind. My previous business partner, I just say his name is Charles. I won't say his last name. Say his name is Charles. Right. It's like, how many Charles is there? Talking about the guy on Snowfall. But anyway, he's a cornball like him. But yeah, so I did that, but because it lost, Charles decided to take my investment from One Cigar Lounge. If you look it up right now, I had to sue them. Unfortunately, Edwin James was a partner on it, so he was lumped in, and I got, $900,000 plus judgment against him.
Damn. Did you get the money?
You know how that is. It's in escrow, but it's in escrow.
Okay.
It's in escrow. We got to the account.
How long you been trying to get it?
It's been going on 4 years.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a tough game, right?
Yeah.
Again, as a promoter against a club owner, thinking I made it. From a club owner to concerts, I've made it. It's like always more of the same BS, right? But whatever. Allure worked out a situation. We good there because the people there, you know. And I was kind of like desolate. I was on the island on my own. And I was like, what am I gonna do next? You know, I took this loss. This is crazy. Don't know what. And Bull was like, Carlos, you know, me and Teddy Riley, they was doing some performance or practicing or whatever. I came by there and we literally like on the whiteboard was just throwing out ideas. Cause he was like, Carlos, I saw how hard you was working. He said, and everybody in this country was talking about their R&B, R&B soul, not R&B soul, East, gave you a free plug, but R&B Forever concert. And he was like, people, you know, away on the West Coast is talking about it. So my promotional abilities were, you know, dope, king, right? So Bull was like, I feel like you just need the right partner. So the next thing we thought of together was Freaknik Live in Concert.
Okay.
And I was like, bro, like, why don't I do, because I was throwing names like Busta Rhymes. I was throwing like, you know, different stuff we was thinking of doing. And I was like, yo, Freaknik Live in Concert. Like, how dope is that? So me being the savvy businessman that I am, because I filed the trademark for Scales 925, I understand, you know, what that means. I said, well, let me make sure if we do this big concert that no one can come in.
Because Freaknik, that's a huge name.
And do a claim on us. Cartoon Network had just let it go. Maybe like a year before.
Cartoon Network?
Because Cartoon Network did that Freaknik cartoon with T-Pain.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they just they did a musical, Freaknik the musical cartoon. And it was completely like, in my opinion, offensive. It was exploring women, you know, all this crazy stuff. Anyway, so I saw it was available. So I filed for it. And then I went to my father, my late father, who passed away during 2021, say, hey, believe in me. And it was, you know, can you let me tap into this home equity line of credit and get a loan? Again, foolish. I would never do that again.
Okay.
But I also was working at Microsoft, so he knew I had a good paying job. He was like, all right, even if he loses all the money, you know, he makes good, so he can pay me back. Okay. He believed in me. I booked all the artists, didn't tell none of them what I was booking them for, not even Luke. I just said, you know, I'm doing a 90s throwback concert because I didn't want nobody to try to increase their rate on me, you know, because they was hot back then. Be like, I am Freaknik. I'm going to charge you 30, 50% premium. Yeah. Nope. Didn't tell nobody. But what I did do was and the day before tickets went on sale, Fox Theater was like, you got to give us the name. What's the name? I said, oh, yeah, I just thought of it today. It's Freaknik. Lying. I've been.
Yeah.
They said, yeah, these tickets won't be on sale tomorrow. It was like, yeah, we're not going to. And keep in mind, I had booked all the artists. So all of them got their deposits.
Oh my God.
And it was pretty crazy, right? And you know,
Fox Theater didn't want a Freaknik Live?
No, because they was worried about their investors, their sponsors. They was like, we don't want to be known as the venue to bring back Freaknik. And I mean, they was really concerned. Like, and my attorney was like, yo, so another thing is, because people say I'm how do you say the word? Litigious? Whatever. Like I'll sue someone.
Yeah.
Owning a strip club, you know, I always knew to have a business partner that's an attorney. That's just
smart
business.
And cheaper.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're my partner. So your goal is to handle all the legal stuff.
Fine, get the money.
You know, so when he took a look, you know, we were like, yo, there's no morality clause in our contract. Like, so what do you mean, you know, you're counseling it because you have an issue with the name? That was, at that time, I didn't realize how much I effed up trying to do this. It has been like one of the hardest things I've had to do, but I've had some breaks. I've had some cosmic, what they call it, whatever. Yeah. Breaks. So, Akeisha Branch, she was the general manager of Solaris Amphitheater. She works for Live Nation. And she was like, yo, like, we with all the shit. Bring it over. We ain't got to deal with no City of Atlanta permits. Yeah. We ain't got to deal with none of that. So I ended up doing it there. And even though I did it at Solaris Amphitheater, I still attended all the NPU meetings. And in the meetings, it was like, why are you here? like, you don't need us to sign off, you know, to get your...
Just in case they try to figure out, oh, it was something that wasn't approved, or
well, it wasn't even that,
sought
because
after.
Solaris have their own special provision. They can do whatever they want.
Okay.
But I say it was important for me because I didn't realize it at the time, but when I announced it, I had every artist, including Luke, say, I'm bringing back Freaknik. I'm bringing back Freaknik. And then I paid for a Shade Room post, and it went viral.
I remember that.
And it went viral, right? And so I was like, look, I want y'all to understand, like, this is not, and this is where I kind of came up with this quote. I said, this is not the Freaknik of the 90s, but a celebration of the Freaknik of the 90s. I'm not...
All the artists,
the music, the food, the culture. I'm like, I'm not, having females on the flyer, half naked, you know what I'm saying, doing all the stuff that I see. I'm not booking...
Now, what y'all do in the audience ain't got nothing to do with what they performing on stage.
What you go do at Freaknik, you go do the next weekend at whatever club you go to, you gonna do... You've been doing it. Just have a good time. I mean, responsibly, right? That's so, I did that. 18,000 people, the biggest show at Solaris Amphitheater. I went up against V103 Tycoon Festival. They had like a $1.8 million talent budget. I had a $300,000 talent budget.
Damn.
And did more numbers than them, more numbers than the Streets Fest that year. Street Fest was like buy one, get one ticket free, all that stuff. And it was like, wow, Didn't make a lot of money though, believe it or not. I mean, I made enough to cover the loss from December. But it was like, I think we got something. So did that, decided to create a nonprofit around it because I didn't like the fact I had to charge $60 average ticket for the cheapest ticket because I couldn't make no money on F&B, couldn't bring in my own vendors, couldn't, merch, I had to do a cut. It was too commercial. It was the business, right? Yeah. Like Hula asked me, is Freaknik a business? It was too, I didn't want people to be coming to Freaknik getting charged $15 a drink, having to pay $60, all this. So I said, look, I want to take it to somewhere where it's, again, foolishly, I can do it in an open park, All I got to do is just get a little city permit. And, I can make ticket prices like $30 this year. I can offer bigger artists. I can make money, different revenue centers to help underwrite the costs. And I would do this until I'm able to attract corporate sponsors, corporate partners. Well, paid the deposits for all the artists in 2021, coming off. So I did a sold out Super Bowl event, Welcome to Miami Music Fest. And then 2 weeks right before March, I paid all the deposits for all the artists. I had like 30 artists this time. And right when I announced, a week later, the country shut down. COVID. Yeah.
I felt that.
Yeah.
And that was like 2020.
That was 2020, right after the one I did in 2019. Look, making merch with a date on it. I learned to never do that again. But yes, and as a junior promoter in this game, I got lucky. And
I don't think anybody anticipated the devastating effects of COVID.
No, I mean, I was like, oh, whatever. Like Donald Trump was like, yeah, it's nothing at the time, right? He was like, oh, it's just nothing. So I was like, hell, the president saying it's nothing.
Now you deserve the PPP loan.
Which I did not get.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. Lord Jesus.
Yep. Yeah.
They were just giving them away.
They were just, right. And I haven't seen no one locked up yet. So I'm almost feeling.
Baby Blue, he got locked up for a year, but it's like $20 million
that's a whole,
for 1 year.
Because Bull was the manager of Pleasure Fee and Baby Blue. So he was actually kicking it. I was kicking it with Baby Blue. And then this little baby thing at Greenbrier right before he went into jail. Anyway, yes.
Listen.
But he, look.
I know, but it's like 20 million versus a year. I'll do a year.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I would do that year.
Exactly.
Nothing. I'll be gone to November.
He came out smiling like I'm home. I was like,
I spent the money.
It's gone.
That money, right?
Okay.
So, but no, I mean, it literally crippled me as a promoter because at the time, again,
your name is out there.
The name was out there. Like, well, first I brought it back to my hood. So I grew up around the corner from here, on the west side. Like I'm west side Atlanta. So I brought it back to Cascade. I worked with Mr. Samuel Tompkins. He had a nonprofit called Another Way Out. And yeah, you know, I was like, bro, I'm gonna bring this to, you know, he was like, Carlos, I'm not making no money, you know, this and other. And he's such a pillar of our community, you know, teaching kids after school program. He have a golf range, Cascade driving range.
Okay, yeah,
right there.
I'm familiar with that.
So when I announced it, like everybody was talking about it in 2020. Everybody was talking about it. And his business partners was like, nope, you're not doing it. You are not authorized to approve Freaknik. It was apparently one older, you know, woman that was like, no, this is not happening. I'm like, wait a minute. You're the landowner. You leased the land to Mr. Tompkins to run a business. And he was like, Carlos, I think they're going to kick me out.
Oh my gosh.
And what I told him, nobody, I don't think not many people know this story. And I said, Mr. Tompkins, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell my attorney that I will not sue them for tortious interference if they agree to not retaliate against you. He's still there to this day. And he said, he's like, I don't know if it's Freaknik or what. He said, but he's had the most business there since since the late 90s, excuse me. He was like, it's crazy. People are here. So, you know, it's like some byproduct good. And fortunately, Dr. Kevin James at Morris Brown reached out to me and said, bring it to Morris Brown.
No, he didn't say bring it to the college.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's college kids there. So
at the time, you know, Morris Brown,
they didn't have no accreditation at the time.
No accreditation at the time. They was on their journey. He was fighting an uphill battle. And he just wanted people to know that we're Morris Brown and we're historically back. We're coming back. You know.
Okay.
So we had this whole press release. It was all out in the news. And it was like, you know, Freaknik and Morris Brown is uniting in its restoration efforts. Pretty dope, right? But then when the COVID happened and everything got shut down, fast forward, you know, me trying to do parking lot concerts, like all these other promoters. But as soon as the Freaknik person, everybody was doing these parking lot concerts. Everybody, Murphy Park, all over Atlanta. I'm like, keep in mind, I'm not a corporation. This is money out my pocket. This is loans. So I'm like, well, I got all these artists. And oh, by the way, all the promoters was picking artists I had already announced, doing them in the market, you know, doing another concert. So by the time Freaknik came back, people like, I've already seen that artist perform.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to do something. So I tried to do parking lot concerts. Someone down at the mayor's office special event started telling all because, you know, it was like some handshake stuff. Like, you can't do it, but we're going to turn our head. And
so pay us.
So I was like, cool. Let me know the rules of the game. I'll pay to play. What's up? Like, I got these artists. Let me do some Freaknik drive-in concert series. So I tried to do it. The city leaked it to the promoters. I actually had a live with Tyler Chronicle and a bunch of them because they was like, bro, you snitched on us. I said, how the fuck I'm snitching on y'all? Look how many followers you got. You're promoting
You're
it.
snitching on yourself.
Right, like, am I supposed to assume that no one knew about this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I couldn't do it. Ended up waiting until 2021 when they started opening up the city again. And then when I put it back out, okay, we got a date. Morris Brown. So I was going to do it. It was on Wendy Williams, everywhere. Everybody was talking about it. And unfortunately, my father had passed away.
Okay.
And that Friday, the day after he passed away, I got a call from Dr. James. And he was like, Carlos, I'm sorry to tell you, but the board has voted to not move forward with Freaknik.
So why did he tell you without getting approved by the board?
Yeah, well, those are politics. Now we're talking politics.
Yeah.
Because at that time, there was a step before that. So what I was able to do in 2020 was I partnered with Mayor Khalid Kamayu, Khalid with lowercase k. He was a councilman at the time. And we, with the whole Black Lives movement that was happening, since Freaknik came out in Father's Day weekend in 2019, we decided to do a march on Old National called Black Fathers Are Dope.
Okay.
Dads overcoming pressure every day. Because of all the murders that was happening from the, George Floyd and, everyone. So We did a historic March on Old National. It was super, super dope. No one has ever done a March on Old National. It was the first one. And if you're from Atlanta,
I know.
Ain't nobody you know how fast people drive down Old National?
The world changes.
But the world changes. Yes. So given, and the reason why that's important was because with the renowned, focus on Black lives and, Black leaders and historically Black colleges, Morris Brown received a surge of attention. They had started getting sponsorship partners. They was getting, a lot of money. So then the board was like, wait a minute, they was an ally in 2020, but in 2021, this might hurt our corporate dollars. This may hurt our accreditation. We are close now. This is now a liability. It went from an asset, a partner to Freaknik's liability. So literally getting out the hearse of my dad's funeral because they was voting that Monday to make it final. I had to, my attorney was like, I need this now so that he can file the lawsuit Monday morning at 8:00 so we can have it served to them at the board. So if they decide not to move forward, we just got to sue them. Again, I'm not trying to sue people like that. But what am I supposed to do?
You're losing all this money.
I'm losing all this money. I already got this marketing out. Everybody's talking about it. I'm about to start back selling tickets. So maybe I have a chance to make my money back. This is when the Freaknik became a nightmare because I had to deal with that. And me and Dr. James and Jerome, we're cool. We boys to this day. Right. I said, it's not y'all fault. I get it. But then the city started jerking me around on permits. They tried to give me my permit the day of the event. I lost my liquor sponsor. I lost everything. So I was like, I had to move it to Cosmopolitan. Now I'm West Side Atlanta.
Okay.
And if you really from Atlanta, not many people from the West Side used to go to the East Side, and not many people from the East Side used to go to the West Side. It was like, what did y'all say? Must be two sides. But so I took it to, Cosmopolitan Glenwood to a club, but then they had a big parking lot. So I did about 4,000 people outside for free. I had a car show out there, boom, boom, boom.
Wow. Okay.
But I thought that those 4,000 people, maybe, 2,000 of them was going to want to pay to go into the concert.
They didn't.
They didn't. I lost $300,000 that weekend.
It just seems like it's just one blow after another blow over this name.
This name. So you're going to ask, I see why not change the name?
I ain't going to say why not change it, but I'm a firm believer if things are supposed to happen, they'll just happen. Mm-hmm. Like you may have a few kinks to work out, but it's never going to be anything as devastating as that. And I know the Freaknik name is so historical and the value is not in the right now.
Right.
The value is in the historical.
Exactly. What it was, what it could be, and what it can't. Well, I think that's kind of saying the same thing. But yes, to your point. And look, this is like a legacy play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is like, I'm from Atlanta. And I get a chance to bring Freaknik back. You know how dope that is?
Yeah.
All these parties, I'm doing everything, that's cool. But I get a chance to do it the right way. Not do it like where this other promoter tried to do it in the mid 2000s or something. And he made it like a porno site and he had girls, you could tell he ain't
kind of like, because I'm from Panama City, Florida. Yeah. And y'all know if you know about Panama City Beach. And
I get that.
My mama would not let me go out on that goddamn beach. Them girls was out there, Girls Gone Wild, all those tapes and everything. Same thing happened in Cancun. I wonder what Panama City Beach would say if I was to announce Girls Gone Wild coming back. They're going to be like, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Even though, remember when MTV Spring Break and all them used to go out
crazy.
there?
Yeah.
That's what really put Panama City on the map. And when,
And think, Freaknik was bringing, oh my gosh. So here's the crazy part, right?
Okay.
This is crazy because I've had the original, so doing the Freaknik, you see I'm feeling this now.
Yeah.
Because doing the Freaknik, I've had some very instrumental people reach out to me. Mm-hmm. Some with, very nefarious intentions, Darren Miller, I guess he owned the state trademark at one point. Haven't done nothing since 1998, but when I came out with it, he filed an injunction on me in 2019, the week of.
I heard about that and said that you had illegally I guess, trademark the name
and all that stuff. And he tried to stop the event. He tried to stop the 18,000 person event at Solaris Amphitheater. He was unsuccessful. We had to go to court that Wednesday while I'm trying to plan this event. And the judge was like, dude, like, you have no basis. But I reached out to him afterwards. I said, yo, like, I respect that you at one point was an OG of it. Like, are you just looking for free money? Or do you want to come, get some money and get in the mud with me and help rebuild this thing? Like, if you want to get in the mud with me, I would love to have you. He's like, his faith, doesn't allow him to drink, do anything. So he was like, he just felt entitled.
You see my face right now.
Yeah, I was like, bro, okay, cool. So
please.
So I said, you just wanted free money.
Nigga, please.
Free money ass nigga.
Yes.
So anyway, I was like, all right.
If your faith didn't allow you, you should have let somebody of non-faith have it.
You see what I'm saying? Or because he tried to do one at Stone Mountain and we had to get that one shut down.
But you say.
But his faith, right? Oh, and yeah. And yeah.
I'm with all this shit now.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like some bullshit, right? But then, even the guy that, I don't want to give him no promotion, but the one that did the Freaknik with the girls on the shirt, spread open. I said, bro, you lost. You lost. It's okay. It's okay to lose. I said,
you rubbed it in his face that?
No. I said, because you can win if you just come. He was like, well, it has to be, I have to lead it. I said, you've had your chance. You've had however many years you tried to do it when I wasn't, and it didn't work. Like, you're doing illegal streetcars racing and, donuts and, and you're trying to pull up here and you're not trying to get the permit. And then the one time you did try to get the permit with the city council, he's on the news. When they looked up, looked you up, they're like, it's a porno site. This guy's doing, I'm like,
and Atlanta don't want that, especially with them trying to attract a lot of, the new Hollywood money is out here, Google, all them. Yeah. They don't want that shit. Like, Atlanta's damn near gentrified.
I mean, bro,
all the way.
I'm like, bro, like, nobody, honestly, the people of Atlanta don't want that, to be honest with you. That's why nobody route with them. So, what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, you tripping. I said, but if, you're passionate about cars, right? Because the car is your thing. Come do a car show with me. You can do a car show the day before. You can lead the whole thing up.
Maybe a whole weekend.
You know what I'm saying? Now we work together, blah, blah, blah. They don't want to do it. Black people, don't want to work together. Recently, the trademark, someone challenged the trademark. It was the person that had the trademark in the 1990s, the early 90s.
But let it go.
He had it until about 1998. But when the city shut it down, he shut it down. It's the point why I'm telling you this, because he gave me, I was going to, when you was talking about Girls Gone Wild in Panama, I was like, what was the financial, impact on the city? So at the time, they said Freaknik during like 1994 was bringing $22 million to the city of Atlanta.
Damn.
But Mr. Ron Green, when I had the trademark, he challenged it, tried to, get it rescind or revoked. He lost. And then he reached out to me. Everybody's like, Carlos, don't reach out to him. He's a snake. He's this and other. I'm like, I get it. But let me hear the brother out. He was a part of Freaknik in the 90s. Like, and this isn't a money play for me. Like, I want people that want to. So anyway, I spoke to him and we are now, discussing him becoming involved with it.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, he's like 62, but very excited about it. But he told me something. I said, it was $22 million worth of revenue. He said, Carlos, no. He said, they base those numbers off of hotel occupancy. That's how they come up with those numbers. He said, but what they didn't realize is these was college kids. It was 8 people to a room, not 2 people to a room. He was like, we was doing almost $100 to $150 million economic impact to the city of Atlanta. Couldn't get no support. The documentary is going to talk about that. It's going to talk about how Freaknik, it's just all about time.
You got to ask me no questions. It's like you know where to go.
Oh yeah, my bad. Cut me on.
No, I love it. No, please keep going because I'm like, you've done this before. You've done this.
No, but because it's like this stuff needs to be out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They was like, Carlos, Freaknik it was the first original Coachella. It's the oldest festival, even though some of the Kappa Beach people was like, Kappa Beach was 1982 too. I'll let y'all,
It's like comparing it to Woodstock.
Yeah, but I'm saying like Freaknik is the oldest like modern Black festival that still, is going on to this day. And so, you know, I'm listening to this and I'm like, but Freaknik in the 90s, it blew up at the wrong time. It's like the book, The Outlier. It's all about time, right? Freaknik was coming along around the times of the Rodney King riots, you know.
Yeah, I remember that.
Rodney King.
I was a little girl at the time.
The LA, you know, the LA riots, the O.J. Simpson, you know. And so at that time, the people that was in power, not the elected officials, they're not the ones sometimes who's in power. It's the people that funds their campaign. They're the businesses. They're the ones who really in power. They didn't want 100 to 300 to 400,000 people in their city partying that did not look like them. The city could have provided the infrastructure. They did it for the 1996 Olympics for millions of people. They knew every year on the third weekend of April that over 300,000 people was coming to Atlanta. They failed to provide the proper traffic plan, everything. That's why it was gridlock everywhere. And
that's why the horror story. That's where the horror story came from.
And then it started to get word from like 96 that girls are having a good time. So what did you happen? Same thing happened with Filigree Pigment. It stopped becoming Greeks. It stopped becoming college students. It started becoming attracting other people. That was, you know, because there was no control in place.
Homecomings, you know.
Exactly. But think about homecomings. You can't just, you know, you probably can be a dope boy and ride up on it with your thing. But the reality is there's security in place. There's police in place. So you're going to behave a certain kind of way.
When I take the 95 up there towards that Clemson shit around that homecoming.
You don't mind, do you?
Drink. That's why we got it. Mirasol.
I said,
drink it. It's yours. You gotta understand. This is my second bottle. I'm a little bit more experienced. Please have at it. But no,
I'll take a shot for our boy.
Yeah, like I remember, like just by those homecoming games, people be outside their cars just locking down the road, and I'm trying to get back to Florida, and you can't because. And there's no security out there to secure that. You got motherfuckers traveling from all the way up north, truck drivers and everything, and they got streets blocked down, partying on the streets. White people, for a game. You know?
Same thing, TSU. I used to go to TSU homecoming, kicking with my bros. UT Knoxville, not TSU. TSU, all black. UT Knoxville.
Okay.
I didn't know, I'm like, bro, the whole city, you know, they're orange. You know, they rock it, but you're right, they drunk, they busting it down, they doing everything that we do, but they just look like the people in power's kids.
They white. They white.
We go drink to that.
But what happened real quick before we pivot off a little bit? 21 Savage.
Yeah.
What happened with that? Like, did you fire off a litigation against him when he had his birthday party?
Because it wasn't. So people asked, was it a business? It's Freaknik a business. That's what some of the Hulu people asked me. If it was truly a business, what bigger whale is there to sue than 21 Savage infringing on your mark?
Exclusive.
That's a business.
Because he did not come out to say anything in reference to it being Freaknik, even though people knew that he was at the underground having a Freaknik birthday party, charging people.
Right. Paying security, people's been charged. And I talked to underground Atlanta people, and what didn't come out was at the end of the night, fireworks or something people thought was shooting. It was almost like a little mini stampede that did not make it to the public. So
it was a mini stampede?
Mini. They contained it, but at the end of the night,
anybody get hurt?
They said no one got hurt. Thank goodness. But you know, one of those.
Because he was like, it was like the first time like underground Atlanta has had a party there.
Yeah, because they're trying to, you know, change their, you know, property and trap people. They're doing different events there.
Man, that thing been fucking desolate for like years. They need to do something.
No, so here's the thing. When 21, keep in mind, I had just lost $300,000 doing that Freaknik at Cosmopolitan, right? And then a week later, I see someone just throw up a party, making it free, doing, you know, because why? He got the label, he got corporate partnerships, they had Amazon Music there, they, you know, so keep in mind, even though it's his birthday party, artists do birthday parties for exposure. They want to touch the people.
Yeah, it was probably alcohol.
You know, it was like literally 7,000 people there. Didn't have no problems getting a permit because underground Atlanta, you don't need a permit. It's like Solaris Amphitheater, right? So, you know, I reached out to his team. I gave his manager Meezy a call. I still got it to this day. I could probably literally pull it up and show it.
What he say? What was your reaction when you saw that they was having a Freaknik party?
This.
And you having to jump through all these hoops to get stuff premiered, but they let a rapper come through the city.
Oh man, I don't have that other text anymore.
It's cool.
So no, because here's what I text him. I said, yo, I said, bro, how much time we got? Okay.
No. I was just making sure my phone was cut off. Yeah.
I said, bro, listen, man, I see y'all doing an event. You know, it's for the culture. It's free. I fucks with that, right? I said, it's not a problem. I said, I have a no-cost solution to make sure y'all can do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Won't cost you a thing. His manager, Meezy, texted me back and was like, man, fuck that. We ain't doing all that. We'll just change the name. I said, okay, God bless, right? Still did it. Didn't change the name. And so the next day I was like, yo, dope party. You know, too bad I got to sue you. And I forgot what 21 said back, you know, fuck out of here, whatever, you know, he said, whatever. And it went viral, right? Yeah. Everybody was talking about it. And people was like, well, why would you sue someone doing a free party? That's what the people, it's a free party.
That's your trademark, though.
Why would you think about it?
They're still making money out there.
Think about it, Tasha. It was a free party in Georgia in 2022, a Freaknik themed party. It didn't make the news, thank God. Somebody got killed at that party.
Oh, wow.
I talk about the stampede, you know, at the end of the night. Yeah. Somebody could have gotten hurt.
And that's your name on that.
And what does that do for me trying to clean up this, you know, brand so that hopefully one day the city of Atlanta can actually accept it and celebrate it the way the ATLians celebrate it. Like, yo, you know, we understand the debauchery happened and we not with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for what it was, Jermaine Dupri even said it. Like, people came to Atlanta for Freaknik. They just didn't leave. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, he said that. He said, and then it was even, the next sentence was, Freaknik and the impact it had on the hip hop, you know, the music community in Atlanta, the entertainment, it's what helped make Atlanta become the Black Mecca. Yeah. So it's like, this should be celebrated, but, you know, they didn't do it. And
so what happened with 21 Savage? Like, did it make it to court or did he just cease?
I didn't even.
You just let it go?
I let it go.
Okay.
Keep in mind, a business, right?
Yeah.
I lost $300,000. That was a get out of jail free card. I could have sued him for $1 million plus, and I know I would have gotten it because I would have said, okay, you did an event. What is 21 Savage booking? He's probably getting $500,000, 800,000. I could open records for that. What is Atlanta? You know, they had Luke, all these other artists perform. I could have got, like, here's the cost. This wasn't a free event. It cost you, you know, this much money. You owe me that. To at least be able to offer the same experience to people next year. Give me that same money so that I can now make it free for people. I let it go for the culture. And then, you know, last year, I said the balls on these guys.
What does your wife say about all this? She be like, baby, listen.
She like, man, what the hell is you like you got a nice career at Microsoft. Yeah. Like, bro, like, you know, let that shit go. Yeah. But it's my passion. It's what, you know, passion sometimes.
I get it.
And purpose. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. They ask me every day, how you still in this business? This is my life. Yeah. I will die doing this. You don't understand. Like, it's not for you.
And plus, I'm hard-headed. When people tell me I can't do something, it actually makes me...
That is a person. I think that's with anybody that's passionate about anything. Like, it gives you the drive. Oh, I can't do this? Yeah. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. I may not get there fast, but I'm going to figure out a way to get there.
Persistence, the tenacity.
Yeah. So that's the spirit of a true entrepreneur.
Thank you.
So,
yeah. You know, there's, you know how the game goes. So when he came back, you know, last year did it, I just said, all right, man, I gave y'all a pass the first year. Because now this is an album, you know, promotional campaign.
Damn.
You know, you got Drake, you got you know, you guys doing this. They did In Vogue. In Vogue is suing them. I haven't checked on the, you know, the lawsuit. Maybe they settled. Maybe they didn't. Who knows?
Okay.
But I said, yo, this year I'm not even talking. It's straight suing. I'm going to have you served. I'm going to have 15 process servers at that event. You're going to get served. You, your label, everybody. Because I gave y'all the benefit of a doubt in 2021.
Okay. They could have partnered with you.
Luckily, they did this year. They finally said, you know what? That's fine. So I ended up, you know, being a co-producer on that.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you. which to me, and we worked it out because it was like, yo, for the culture, like, bet. You know what I'm saying? We did it. It was a good event. I went there. I was on crutches. It's going to be in the documentary.
Okay.
It was actually the first event. Ironically, it was my 40th birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was a Halloween event. My birthday's October 26th.
People don't really statistically start really making it until in their 40s.
I guess so, man.
You got the fuck up 20s and 30s.
Man.
They get there. You know what I'm saying? Look.
I'm over here reevaluating life. I'm like, man.
And it makes you do that.
I need to be a DJ. I need to guarantee money. I'm tired of taking this risk.
But like, if you had gave up, you wouldn't have been able to get that partnership. You see what I'm saying?
Real.
So
that's
for
real.
me, I'm like, well, why does Freaknik have to be in Atlanta?
So that's a good point. And, because I'm from Atlanta, I'm so near and dear, but believe it or not, like I'm having conversations with established promoters. I've been talking to Bobby D, maybe about bringing it to, Long Beach. He was open to it. I got to resume.
And let me tell you something. I know people don't fuck with Ron DeSantos. I don't like that because I feel like he's just, he's so progressive. He's forgetting history is what makes us progressive.
Yeah.
And you can't erase history because then people won't know where they come from. And there will be no culture to celebrate when it comes to things like Freaknik, right? But when it comes to business, like their state was the only state that was open for the UFC.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, no, I do. Georgia and Florida was the only state that was open.
Yes, and they was hosting UFC during COVID when everybody else told them no. It was like, why do we have to take our sport out of the country? And they did. It made so much money in Dubai that Florida and Georgia said,
fuck that.
Bitch, we open.
Everybody can say what they want to say, about, like Georgia and Florida leadership. But I said, look, ain't none of my club, service industry people was complaining. It was like, yo, if it wasn't, for Georgia and Florida being open, it was like, yo, we don't know how we would have lived.
That's how a lot of people ended up like moving, saving their businesses, saving their companies, their lives, their money, moving out of states that were shut down so that they can come to Florida and reestablish themselves. Does it have some drawbacks? Like, Georgia's more of a creditor-friendly state. Georgia's more of a debtor-friendly state. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So you got to pick your two, and then taxes and stuff. So you just got to figure out what works for you. And for me, it's kind of like those obstacles. I can understand why you didn't turn back because now, like, you are starting to see a lot of the benefits. You got a whole fucking documentary. You got the world pissed off at you. Like, you seeing aunties, nurses going live from a car. We're like, bitch, we don't know that's you. We didn't know it was you until you said something because they're worried about their, I guess, their reputations and stuff because they're saying, you partnering with Hulu to do this documentary, why do you want to do that? Yeah.
Well, the crazy part is, I'm gonna say they ain't got shit to worry about. I mean, it's not going to be. First of all, I think it's quite fucked up that the narrative is always focused around the women. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like there was uncles out there,
And that was my next question because I saw footage of like, there would be like two women and it'd be a crowd full of men and they're like, why you worried about
ain't nobody talking about the men.
Ain't nobody talking about the men.
They talking about the one girl twerking, but ain't nobody, you see the photo with the police spread the girl's butt open. Everybody trying to figure out who that girl is. Nobody's trying to figure out who
the men are. Yeah.
So, but
have you gotten backlash from the men on that? Like, yo, like I'm worried about being canceled.
It's our society. I mean, unless they're doing something illegal, like actually, criminal. Niggas like, yeah, that's me. Shit, we got there getting in. But girls be like, I was getting in, but I don't need everybody to know about it. You know what I'm saying? But they
was like that, like I said, on Panama City Beach. It was the same thing.
They like that today. Yeah. You go to the clubs, man. Look, I was a promoter. My friends would come to my events and go home with a different chick every night of my event.
How do you manage that? Like you have a wife, you have a baby and stuff. How you stay out the streets?
I don't do the drugs I sell. It's crazy. Like,
so you don't have women like throwing themselves at you?
If I do, I'm oblivious to it, to be honest with you. I'm like, when I was in the clubs, I had a girlfriend and like my promotional partners was my girlfriend, college friend. So they would snitch on me more than she didn't have to worry about stuff. She'd be like, what was Carlos doing? Nothing. Like,
so you didn't see any temptation or nothing like that?
Let me tell you, when I became a club promoter, I've lived like lives, so,
You played around.
No, not even that. Okay. Like, it's just like when I was 17, right? I'm working, with my dad, working with people in their 50s, you know what I'm saying? 60s.
And you saw
So I've always been older, like, even though I know I'm younger. So, even when I did Freaknik, all the big promoters, who now a lot of them make up like the Black Promoters Collect, they was like, who's this young promoter that's getting in our game? Like, we didn't get in this game till we was 50. He's doing it in his mid 30s. I'm like, so when I was at the clubs, I had that, like, I pledged Alpha. I went online when I was 17. I crossed when I was 18.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my line brothers was all 21, 22, 23.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Southern Polytechnic State University.
Okay.
But I pledged at Georgia Tech.
Okay.
Ended up getting my master's there too. But, so I was going to clubs at 18, 19 as I had one of my line brother. He was just dark skinned. Don't look shit like me. But, in the nighttime, he gave me his ID. You just look at... By the time I turned 21, I was tired of going to clubs. I was like, dude, I've been clubbing the last 3 years. Like, I'm tired of this. So I got into a relationship. So I was in a relationship from like 21 to 23. Then I got back single. And I'm like, oh, I'm single now. What I'm going to do, go back to the clubs? I've been here, done that. I became a promoter. I said, at least if I'm going to go out, let me make money. Okay. And so that's how I became a promoter, at such a early age. But that mindset permeated always throughout. So it was like girls would be like, I would have all the women in my sections and all my friends would be I would just literally treat women with respect. I treat women the way I want to be.
But sometimes they don't like that.
No, they actually did. But the crazy part is sometimes they might be like, oh, you gay, you don't want me. But nobody ever thought that because I'm still West Side. Like, I used to have open face goals. So they was like,
you're like, bitch, gay.
They was like, we know he ain't gay, but he ain't trying to holler at us. But
I had to ask that question because, you did mention your wife, you did mention your baby. Yes. And I know how viewers are like, well, like, why is it so important as a married man?
Right.
You have a daughter.
Yeah. Yes.
To bring back such a controversial fest. Right. Who highlighted and glorified women, quote unquote, being exploited. But everybody know them hoes wasn't exploited. They was on top of cars.
They was down. Ain't nobody put a gun to them. Get up here and dance, motherfucker. Listen. Look, it's the same thing. The closest thing I could think of was the Amber Rose Slut Fest. Right?
Okay.
And she was like, yo, y'all be slut shaming us, but we're women. Like, we can do what we want. Why are rules and constraints placed on us in society? But then for men, it's like, it's okay. But for us, so they was like, forget it. We're going to go out here, have a good time. We're going to wear what we want to wear. Think about the new Janelle, video that's out. What's it? Lipstick Lover. Like, that's damn near porn.
Yeah. But, they're doing that now. They're dropping videos now on OnlyFans, music videos on OnFans. Remember, it used to be like BET After Dark or some shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You remember
that? Star. You know about that?
You used to stay up late just to watch the fucking music videos.
Nelly Tip Drill. I'm going to have Nelly host one of these Freakniks, bro. I tell you. Nelly, I'm going to get to you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because like you people are panicking. I think there was some footage that came out that I ended up putting, like, I did some research on it because they was like, Kanye was at Freaknik and then it wasn't really there. That was a music video.
But it was a video of some girls
but you could clearly tell he wasn't into it. I don't think Kanye ever liked black women because he was not looking at that woman.
Yeah. Well, Kanye
That's exactly. And she would have been white. It would have been all smiles. It's like,
Let me stop.
But so like, no, I've been curious to talk to you because I'm like, when I saw the strike at 21 Savage and him having that, and then I didn't know that there were all these politics behind it because I'm like,
politics. It's ridiculous. Now we get into politics. So the club wasn't intelligent enough to be politics. It was nigga shit, but this is politics. Okay. You know what I'm saying? This is, the city knows that I'm with all the shits and no offense, talented Tim. I'm one of them smart Negroes. You know what I'm saying? You guys have to abide by the city ordinance. I'm literally telling you all, I'm not saying, hey, can I do this? I'm saying this section, this code states that this, and the way I'm interpreting it is this. Can you point me to another area of the City of Atlanta Munich Code that contradicts my interpretation of this? So now they're like...
Have they written new codes just for you?
No, but the crazy part is one of the people in power, she's an ally, so I won't say who she is.
Okay.
She was part of the Kasim Reed administration, and she was like, when your permit came in for Freaknik, she was like, I just sit back and watch, because under Kasim Reed administration, anything that got Freaknik was immediate veto. No, no, no. Kasim Reed was so against that. Damn. Even though you look him up and, you know, he talks about how Freaknik had an impact. But anyway, whatever. Right. He was against it. So she was like, under Mayor Bottom's administration, she was just, and you see Mayor Bottom's posted it recently. Mm-hmm. She posted the whole document and all this, you know, Jovi, and I made a post on the Freaknik account. I was like, hey, Mayor Bottom's, you know, glad that, you know, you're, you know, excited about this. Would have loved to have that excitement when you was in office, but I understand the politics. Yeah. Right. Wasn't no codes against it. I don't want to just sue people. Like, it's like NFL. You see somebody get hit, you don't see the person that hit somebody first. You see the person that responds. So, you know, I don't want to sue 21. Like, I had an issue this weekend with Life nightclub, because they was doing a Sakiana. They had a Freaknik. They was promoting. What's Sukiana? Sukiana. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Her team reached out to me, was like, yo, we're going to sue you, because I sent them a cease and desist and a demand letter. But, you know, again, I could have just let them do the event and then just collected the money after. Collected the profits afterwards. That's business. I know business owners with trademarks, they call it litigation hunting. That's a part of their business. Damn. And it's very profitable. But what did I do? I reached out to the owners. I know them. I said, listen, bro, my board is going to sue you if you do this event. And if you do it, my hands are tied. But because I know you, and I've worked with you in the past, I've promoted your venue, you know, and I even offered you opportunity to partner with me this year on it. You declined. You know, I said, I'm from one brother to the next. If you go forward with this event, whatever happens, happens. And they made a post, Life ATL, this event is not associated with the Freaknik Festival. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, let's just do good business, people. Like, I'm not out here trying to put the mallet on people and sue and run this like a real business. How was filming with Hulu, though? You guys done filming? We're done. Okay. Yes. Now, is it true that there are several lawsuits from people? Because what was all that about? No one's seen the video. How they're going to sue off speculation? Because I heard that there was a lot of people. I don't know if you saw the headlines that people had filed lawsuits against Hulu to stop the dissemination of the documentary. No one's seen the content. And guess what? You know, this is what one of the key principals at one of the partners of Hulu told me, because they gave me a fuck you deal on the trademark. Like, they gave me pennies. They offered 21, to give you perspective, they offered 21 Savage 4 times more to come film his event in Underground Atlanta, 4 times more than what they offered me. And I'm the trademark holder, right? It was a fuck you deal. But what he told me was, listen, Hulu just came out with this Mike Tyson documentary. Hulu's with all the shits. And in so many words, get down and lay down. And I was like, look, I'm so, keep in mind, I was doing this during my dad's funeral. I didn't even get a chance to even mourn for my dad's funeral until like his death, until like literally after that Freaknik event. And I took from November to December, and I was just like, yo, don't talk to me about Freaknik. Don't, like, So are they using the name Freaknik? They are, absolutely. And but they got your permission? They have my permission. I've given them, you know, a license. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm a co-producer on it. So, you know, that's the highest, you know, that's higher than executive producer. Even though, but, you know, I just felt like, I refer to like National Geographic. Like, they're not going to help me be successful. They didn't want to, you know, you doing a documentary of a gazelle, right? As it, you know, go through the nature and its whole growth and what happens. But if that gazelle get attacked by a coyote or a lion, they're not going to step in and save it. They're going to be like, ew, but we going to couch that all the way. Yeah. That's how it is for me, right? So, you know, the executive producers, one of my frat brother, very cool, but I just felt as though I could have gotten some, you know, some better support to help tell this story, especially from a large corporation. But Carlos, your value is going to be when we put this out and afterwards. And I understand marketing. I mean, you know the game. I understand promotion. So I said, it's going to be up to me to leverage this into something that, you know, can hopefully tell the story. You got to throw a party. Oh, yeah. You got to throw a party. You got to figure out how to throw a Freaknik Fest Well, I did one 2 weeks ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
How big was it?
We did about 1,000 people. It was promoted in 2 weeks. No artist, no real budget. It lost $46,000. Like, I should just keep losing money.
$46,000?
Yeah. But guess what, though? I had a company by the name of Music FX, which is a subsidiary of the parent company, MetaWorks Platforms, the IO. They said, Carlos, we love what you're doing. We're looking to push Web3 and blockchain, utilizing entertainment, music. They came and paid the whole amount. They said, whatever money you don't raise on ticket sales, they came in.
That was a nice fucking gesture.
Because that's how they fucking with the brand. They fucking with, the culture. They're like, listen, this is right up our alley, what we want to do. And they also, I met with them in Vegas last week, and it was like, look, we want to be a part of your 2024 also, and we're going to do it the right way. So we're going to do a little. So
they're going to go in and help get all of those permits and stuff that they're giving you hell over.
I can get the permits. They can't help with that. I know how to deal with the city or not deal with them. I know where I can go, and I know the gray areas, right? But what they will do is, because I'm still financially hurting from this event, the people that believed in me are financially hurting from this event. We could literally just do clubs, Freaknik Club. I could just book a artist, do a club, and every artist, every club, I can sue them. I can go litigation hunting, and I guarantee you, as that business model, within a year, I'd be up a couple $1 million suing all these clubs, hitting their insurance, their errors and omission insurance. But that's not what I'm not trying to make this like a. Yeah. I want this to be celebrated. That's not the spirit of.
What if you take it on the road, like with Freaknik coming to your city, like?
Well, that's actually part of the plans that we're discussing right now, because like a summer block party tour.
Yeah.
I think, there's definitely a demand for a Freaknik, but I want to do it with the right artists,
It can always be like Freaknik Atlanta behind it, but Freaknik Atlanta comes to fucking LA. Freaknik Atlanta goes to New York, or especially these people be sleeping on these small towns.
No, like Birmingham, they do a little dope. Well,
listen.
These small towns, listen.
People be trying to bypass them.
The biggest Mardi Gras party that I've ever done, Charles, took me to Mobile, Alabama. I didn't know they had one of the biggest Mardi Gras.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yes. And don't sleep on Dothan, Alabama either.
Yeah. No, trust me. Like Jacksonville.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Different, like say Florida, different places. So, like now that it's been coming full circle, like.
And I think that's something that you should entertain introducing right after this documentary drops, because now everybody's going to be like, I want to go to one. If you miss that boat.
You miss it. And the thing about it is,
man. Listen,
at one point, I was going to
drink it all.
No, I see. I was going to save a little bit for our mutual friend.
Slim.
Get that little shot. Say just enough for his ass.
Slim right here. You got another bottle? Open that bottle for Slim there. Listen, we're about to wrap up.
We're going to look out for our brother.
I don't want to give out too much of the content with Hulu and stuff,
but to your point, like the people that actually wrote this, Jay, Alan, and Nikki, they said, Carlos, you feel like you've been fucked by the networks? I don't want to say nothing that he didn't authorize me to say, but let's just say it's not the people of the culture, not the people from Atlanta that's been driving the ship. So it's going to be on us to take wherever this ship lands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wherever, because I don't know how they're going to portray me. I don't know if they're going to portray me as this and other.
You don't know what to set up.
I don't know if they're going to talk about, when the COVID, me buying with Cascade Driving Range 1,000 tickets for kids to be able to go and play golf, when they couldn't go nowhere else. I don't know if they're going to talk about the food, the clothes dryer.
Do you think they're going to celebrate it though? Because if they don't celebrate it, it's going to make it hard for people to want to. They're
going to talk about the struggles of bringing it back. And I won't, like I say, we won't give away too much, but the problem is the issues I experienced today trying to bring it back, it's the same issues that Sharon Toomer experienced in the 90s and Ron Green them experienced in the 90s.
So what about that footage that everybody's screaming about? Like how they able to obtain, because it's a documentary, so they really legally able to use it.
So here's what they told me. Remember I said the whole Mike Tyson get down and lay down? The thing about it is for documentarians, if it's already in the public domain, it's free game.
Yes.
So if you've uploaded this, they don't need nobody. It's already, all they got to do is prove that it's in the public domain and they can use it. So remember, everybody be like on Instagram, don't take your photo for those.
No, because when you sign up with Instagram or Facebook, you give them.
Nobody read the terms and conditions.
They don't, but they don't understand that. Like, so whether you say, "Oh, you can't use my shit," they can use your shit.
They can use it. So the reality is, there is no case there, but I think the story is going to have a much more social impact than what people is lean on, because. George Hawthorne, which is the person that made the recommendation to the city of Atlanta to end the Freaknik. He was the chairman of the Spring Break Planning Committee in 1998. He since have joined the Freaknik Festival, board, and he's a partner. He's an ally of us. He gave, Mayor Campbell, Shirley, Beverly, I can't remember her name. She was the police chief at the time. They don't want to be on the camera. But he helped fill in the gaps that literally tells a whole different story than what people's expecting. Okay.
So the aunties, the uncles and shit.
You safe.
They ain't got nothing.
Safe here. You safe. You was 30, you was 60 pounds. No one's gonna recognize you. It wasn't me. Prove it. In the law, what is it, in the court of law? If you can't prove it, it wasn't me.
The glove don't fit. You must have quit. So, okay. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up, because I'm telling you, people was just losing their shit.
Yeah, man. No, it was, it made for good banner and talk. And here's the thing, though. Here's what I have heard. Hulu, I've heard off the record that Hulu feels as though this is going to be the biggest documentary they've ever put out. Bigger than Wu-Tang and any other.
Damn.
They didn't put no money behind it. They just released one press. Freaknik is a worldwide, our good friend Slim is saying when people are doing Freaknik parties in Ohio, where he's from, he's like, bruh. And he did the documentary in 2015. It got like 5 million views on YouTube.
Views,
And then we turned down Ish TV and Mass Appeal back in 2019 because they wanted to do a documentary. I said, nah, I'm fucking with Slim. Because Freaknik, so that money I lost, is what I was getting to, it's supposed to, we had independent artists on stage. We had Cooley Bros. We had, local people, local businesses. I want Freaknik to be something that benefits everybody, the smaller people, not just these artists. No offense, I love the artists. They had to grind to get there, but at a certain level, they forget how they got there. Freaknik should be breaking new artists. Freaknik should be supporting. We did it with the Bonfire.
And 21 Savage ain't from Atlanta. He from London.
Right. Fucking give us some, what they call it, teas and biscuits.
Bloody mites.
What was that? What was that in it though? What was in it?
Okay, so I like that. So he done told everybody they safe.
Safe-ish.
For now.
Safe-ish. Deny.
So, okay. Well, no, I'm glad we cleared that up. And anything else you working on that you wanna put out there for now?
Yeah, no, I mean, the good part is Music Effects is, we're entertaining a conversation now for me and my business partner, Michael Williams of MWPEG, to actually come in and really take over that division and plan concerts, tours, festivals. It's a publicly traded company. They want to do things for the culture. So, that's coming.
I do see the way you're going. It's kind of like you had to go through all of that you went through. So now when you do get up here and you making 100, 2 million, 200 million, the politics. It's like it created you to be the motherfucker that you are.
Right.
Because when you dealing with that type of money, that type of motherfucking money, you gotta be a motherfucker to manage it.
But I'm grounded though, right? Because I understood. So it's like, if God's willing, and I get there, it's like, bro, I want to make Freaknik free. I've been saying that. But people always say, well, why is Freaknik not free? How are you charging on something? I'm like, bro, the venue's not free. The security's not free. The audio visual is not free. The staff is not free.
They got it. They just you know how people are.
I'm like, I want to make it free, but like corporations, like rock with me. So like, come on, so you might not have noticed, but I actually was acknowledged by the state of Georgia, by Republicans, by the way.
Oh, really?
Because in 2019 we did a health fair. And we was acknowledged. We received a certificate from the state of Georgia.
Okay.
Just acknowledging like the positive works and the impact, the financial impact we had on the city of Atlanta. It's like your people's gonna be the last. These are all white people. Your people's gonna be music effects, not black.
Yeah.
White people. You know what I'm saying? It's like your people's gonna be the last one to support you. But when they do support you, you know, they're gonna say, hey, don't act like you forgot about us. And I won't.
Don't be a Steve Harvey is what they say.
Right.
Well, thank you, Carlos. I really appreciate it. You want to tell everybody where they can follow you, find you? You got a social media profile? You're not on social media later.
I got my personal one, but I would say, you know, Freaknik Festival.
Okay.
On Instagram, Facebook, Twitter is Freaknik Fest. I got like 10 followers on Twitter, so I need some help on Twitter. I got 0 on TikTok. I still post shit.
Okay.
After 9 partners. And yeah.
And so to everybody that had questions, I went straight to the motherfucking source.
Yeah.
Cause I was just like, what? Every time I see it, they tagging me like, I'm like, Tasha, what are we gonna? I'm like, y'all need to calm the fuck down. So, you know,
they're gonna talk about the celebrities, the executive, you know, no offense, it's celebrities, but
and they're only using those to sell it.
Because they selling it.
They selling it. But you
it's like here's the crazy part, right? You know, I was talking to Teddy Riley. He was like, bro, like, why didn't they interview me? And he was like he
was that. But he had Rump Shaker.
That's what he said. Rump Shaker, resident.
Yes!
He said we're the first ones to become mainstream television. You know what I'm saying?
Shaking ass.
He said 1992. That was the first one. And he said, but nobody want to talk to me. He said, I'm the one that set that shit off. They don't fucking know. They're just following a script. You know what I'm saying? But if you really get in the mud, I said, Ted was like, yo, bro. I said, Ted, come out. So Ted, this for you. Or whoever the camera.
Yeah, right.
I gave you a plug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like,
I'm gonna have to reach out to Teddy Riley. I know his daughter and stuff like that. I ain't never reached out to him. But like, when people think about it, they always go to Luke. They don't never think about Teddy Riley was the first person to really bring commercial.
He literally said it. He pulled me aside before the festival. I said, Teddy, come on stage and perform. But they just got off their Legends tour. So he was like, but I'm tired. I just came back from Africa. Y'all done worked this shit out, man. But no, I mean, you know, this is, so as the story started to come out, like one thing that's, you know, going to be really positive is my goal is to bring back, I want to get Sharon Toomer back in the fold, Ron Green, we're already talking.
Okay.
Any and everybody that was a part of Freaknik, because this ain't just Carlos. Carlos is, I just grabbed the torch off the ground and lit it back up. And, you know, and since then, what happened? You know, you got the Migos scrub the ground. You got Saweetie do parties.
And I want to say that too, like, because I don't think people give like Migos their flowers. Mm-hmm. You know, I think Migos it was so many politics dealing with Migos, even though these guys aren't from the hood per se. But the music, that sound that the Migos came with, they started a whole new sound. And when you play, and Future too, you can't leave Future out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like they turned, it's like they kind of elevated the sound of Atlanta and made it to where everybody was copying their sound. And Migos, when you write for Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? Because the sound is just so impactful. Yeah, man, it's a shame what like happened to their group.
Because people, it is, and you know, it's part of the politics. I don't know if that's a nigga or politics, but they was making money, money. So it's a
women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to break up a good thing. They could have did solo projects and did multiple projects, but it was that sound. They don't understand. It's kind of like Destiny's Child. They tried for a long time to do 4, then they had to do 3, but Destiny's Child was all together. Yeah. Migos is all together, and to find that sound and then Takeoff is no longer here. It's
but you know, it's about finding the right people with the right intentions. And, you know, if I have a moment, you know, even this weekend, like some really prominent people, not even prominent, they're not known in Atlanta, really stepped up to make this festival last weekend, you know, happen. I can shout them out.
Yeah.
First and foremost, Cassie.
Okay.
An amazing Cassie consultant, blonde hair, white girl, so ATL. Karen West, PR, stepped in. I didn't have a budget. It was like, Carlos, we're going to rock with you because we feel your heart.
That's pretty dope, yeah.
Butter ATL stepped in and helped out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Trap House Museum.
Okay.
Stepped out. Tipped them. Bam, shout out to Bam. It's funny because I was trying to get the content. I get on the Zoom call and Bam was like, Los. I said, what up? He was with me at Scale. So it was crazy. Big homie Kodak, really made this his event. He was like, bruh, iHeartRadio, Bonfire ATL, it's just like so many people that, obviously my business partners, Pat, Wiz, all them, my wife was working the door. Like Bonfire ATL, most importantly, they provided us a venue. They provided us support infrastructure. It's just crazy. Like it almost, if I was a little softer, I almost brought a tear to my eye because I was like, bro, like I don't have any, like I'm hurting from the last one. Yeah. And everybody was like, yo, we gonna make this happen with you. These are the people that I want to, this energy is what I want to build this festival and this.
So you found your
event.
team.
I found the team.
Okay.
And I pray I can keep them together. Michael Williams, Production Entertainment Group, and most importantly, MetaWorks and Music FS. I wouldn't have been able to do this without them. So, hopefully, this isn't the end because I promoted the one in 2022 as the last Freaknik. I said, this is it. This is the final one. For my own sanity, I can't deal with this no more. And I'm having those people pour into me the energy that, I've exhausted over
and you take
the
that
first
shit,
3
take
years.
that shit on the road. Freaknik Atlanta comes to this. I guarantee you.
All right. Well, I'm looking.
Atlanta gonna be like, bring it back.
I'm looking for investors.
And you make sure,
I'm looking for investors right now.
And you make sure.
Let's plan it. Let's plan it up.
And you make sure you rub it in Atlanta's face how much the city made.
I ain't gonna lie. Real talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I already thought about that. I mean, I got people trying to take it international. Oh, shout out to Bull. You know what I'm saying? Bull Williams. His father passed away also on Monday this week. So, our hearts are with him. But this whole thing wouldn't have been possible without Bull from the beginning.
That's what you got to do. You got to utilize that PR team. When y'all travel, you post them numbers.
Yeah.
And I guarantee Atlanta going to say, bring it back.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Because it's always the last people that know you.
It's like they kind of going to see it.
To be like, all right, we with you.
It's just kind of how it has to go.
The game.
You know what I'm saying? Especially with, the amount of money they brought into the city. And I think they're so afraid now. It's kind of like, Tyler Perry was a great thing for the city, right? Mm-hmm. He's still a great thing, but the homeowners, our people are feeling it.
Yeah, like
they could lose their homes, and he's saying, "Well, I'm gonna pay for X amount of homes taxes." It's like you own their homes.
Yeah.
If you wanted to put them out tomorrow paying their taxes, you could.
Of course, right.
Come on, nigga, stop. Yeah. This is the stuff that needs to be highlighted versus you trying to preserve. It's a silent war, right?
It's like a silent war.
The culture, Tyler, y'all scared, I'm just going to pay your taxes. Okay, so 7 years go by, you're going to continue to pay their taxes. You're going to be like, I need to expand my studio. You got to go. I own this. You know what I'm saying?
Let me give you a nice
people that bought their homes.
What happened to the Georgia Dome?
Yeah.
Let's give you a nice little relocation.
Yeah. Outside
but it's eminent domain because he's so in with the city.
Yeah. So they will help him to move people. And it's like, I think certain things just have to be protected. And I applaud you on just fighting so hard for, even though it's very controversial. Yeah. I may not agree with it, but on the terms of us being entrepreneurs, business is fucking business.
Yeah. And
you don't like it,
and honestly,
don't buy.
I feel like maybe I should, treat it more like a business. It's so near and dear to my heart. I haven't.
Those are the best businesses though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I appreciate you. Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you. You see the wine going. I might have had as much as you down. I might have had as much as you down.
You're the second guess that done killed the bottle. Listen.
I think I killed that bottle, right? Because you had one glass and the rest, we're going to blame Slim.
Yes, we are. Let me go ahead and do this quick live to let them know that the interview is coming and any type of assumptions they had, you cleared it up. I came to the source, okay?
Yes.
Hold on real quick so they'll know when it's coming. And I appreciate your PR.
Thank you.
For working with me last minute.
It was cool. I mean, look,
yeah,
I know. I was hoping he was going to be like, Carlos, I'll take it. They ain't paid his ass for the... He was like, this is 100% PR. I said, Chad, I know, brother. I fucked with you.
I was just like, when Slim told me, I was like, Slim, see if he'll do it. I know it's last minute.
Slim texted me like, hey, look, did he tell you what I said?
What'd you say?
Okay, Slim didn't tell you, so I'm going to leave that alone.
No, he didn't tell you.
Because I don't do the drugs I sell. I don't watch TV. I don't do nothing.
And I know, I was like, once your publicist got involved, so they probably going to decline it because they're going to think I'm going to be messy or something.
Well, no, my wife actually was like, be careful. She got that. I was like, first I asked Slim, I said, Slim, who's Tasha with a K? No offense. I don't watch TV. Slim knows I'm a nerd in this style. Like, I don't watch blogs. I actually listen to 105.3 The Beat now because they supported Freaknik. And I'm like, damn, they kind of dope. I be listening to Breakfast Club in the morning time. Like, damn, they got my ass. Because I'm usually listening to sports radio though. I'm truly a nerd. So Slim was like, bro, like, you don't know who Tasha with a K is? Then I asked my wife, I said, she was like, oh, I'm coming. I said, what do you think? Gonna be some girls there, like, twerking? Like, they go, okay, what do you think about this?
On my platform, I'm very conservative now.
She was just like, be careful. It's a great platform, but she got some sharp elbows. I was like, bro, I'm a real nigga, so I'm cool.
That's all I tell people.
And then what's your call it? Chad was like, well, it's in Southwest Atlanta. And usually I would decline situations like, I said, bro.
It wasn't our fault, though.
I said, bro, I'm from Southwest Atlanta. Yes. Nigga, this is my hood. I'm good.
It wasn't our fault. We had a whole thing downtown.
Yeah.
Hold on for a second.
No, I'm glad you did it right here.
Yeah.
Because this is close to where I live at. I said, take us to the Southwest Atlanta.
We get to the loft and it's dirty. Like, I said, how do people say
I didn't want to go to the loft. This was 15 minutes from my house. I'm jumping right back, going back home.
See?
I said, bro, I'm from Southwest. We good.
Yeah,
I was just
like, so I had to check out, and luckily I have such a great relationship with this Airbnb owner here.
Yeah, and I can tell.
I called her. It was like 10 a.m. in the morning. I was like, yo, like I know it's not in the best neighborhood. However, when we walked in, the police had their fucking streets blocked off. We was trying to figure out like what the hell going on.
I went to Doug High School.
Really?
Like, I went down the street, Mosley Park.
Oh shit.
On Sunday, I'm like, bro, we had front houses. We had a front house over there by Vine City.
I was like, Cynthia.
I said, nigga, I'm home.
Yeah.
This is like, maybe for some other people, I'm like.
No, I'm cool, but some guests may be a little sketchy.
No, I'm saying because they're not from here.
They're not from here.
So they're like, where the hell we going? I was like, bro, I know Chappelle,
Yeah.
I know every back street, which way to get home, we good.
No, but I was just like, oh Lord, his publicist is probably gonna say no. The area is definitely.
He told me. He said, I normally would decline this, but what do you want to do? I said, bro, fuck it, let's go.
Thank you for fucking with me. Yes. So listen, interview 2. Our third interview, she was tired. She couldn't make it, so we're gonna come back out to Atlanta.
Oh, I'm the replacement.
No, you're not. You're not.
Okay.
No. She was supposed to come at 6.
Yeah.
But she told me at 3 she couldn't make it at 6.
Yeah.
She had got in from Americas, Georgia, and she was tired.
Okay.
So she was just like, please just. So we come out to Atlanta once a month to do interviews and stuff like that. But listen, to everybody that's been tripping about this Hulu documentary, y'all worry about your aunties being hoes and your uncles being predators and shit like that, and everybody just worry about if they're gonna be exposed during this Hulu documentary. So you know what we did? You know what Tasha K did? Tasha K went to the man himself, this Mr. Freaknik.
What it do? And look, she didn't go to the celebrities. Usually it'd be JD or Luke. She went to the.
I went to the one who owned the name, the one who co-producing the fucking documentary on Hulu. Yes, sir. Okay. Man,
glad to be here, everybody.
An amazing interview. He answered all the questions. Okay. So for those of y'all like all these lawsuit allegations, don't say nothing. I want them to wait for the interview. All these lawsuit allegations against you and Hulu.
Yeah.
We asked about the 21 Savage cease and desist.
Culture.
Oh.
All culture.
We asked about it all, okay? And so you see the hat? He owns that shit, okay? Everybody got to come through him.
But I want everybody, like, this ain't about just me, man. Like, I brought this back on some you know, I'm from ATL.
Yeah.
I wanted to do this for the culture and everything. Like, look, we trying to make this where, like, you from Atlanta, you know Freaknik is it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, some bad shit that happened. And, you know, unfortunately, it's like a fire, right? Fire's good when you're cold, but if you get out of control, you get burned. So, you know, we wanna celebrate the good part of it and the bad part of it, man. So I'm just glad I'm able to tell my story. I'm glad you invited me.
Anytime. When I forgot to ask you, when did you guys close filming for the documentary?
At the casting that we did 2 weeks ago.
Damn, just 2 weeks ago. So I caught you like fresh off the line.
The last part of it was the festival.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
So listen. So all them allegations out there about the footage and people trying to sue and trying to keep this documentary from hitting the internet, it's all motherfucking cap.
I mean, look, I'm gonna say deny that shit. You was 60 pounds lighter anyway. It wasn't you. It was your friend. You ain't never seen that girl day in her life. You good.
Oh my God. So listen. So I'll tell y'all who it is.
Cause they like, who is this nigga?
Don't even worry about it.
Behind the scenes. I don't even want to be there.
He's behind the scenes, but he's the one that owns it all, okay? So he's the one that they got to come to. He's the one that they had to film with. He the documentary, all that stuff. So everybody worried. People are worried about being exposed for being predators, for being hoes, all that stuff. Like everything, footage illegally obtained. I asked every single question, okay? Every single question. And for those of y'all that are asking why I canceled my show, is because I had to be in Atlanta because I was on vacation for 7 days. So we had to push these interviews back, okay? And then tomorrow we'll go live, okay? So don't worry, the show is still on. I just needed this day to make up for those 7 days I was off. But listen, thank you so much, Carlos.
Thank you. I appreciate
it. And we'll put the website and everything soon when his interview come out, okay? So we'll try to get it out. If not this week, definitely next week, okay?
Freaknikfest.com.
What is it?
Freaknikfest.com on Instagram. So check it out. You see photos from it. And 2024, we're going to do it bigger.
All right.
With y'all support.
All right, winos. Now we got to go. Bye. Say peace.